Okay, do you believe that the world is going to hell in a handcart? It's the apocalypse? Or do you believe that we're entering a whole new age, an age of enlightened being, instant manifestation, love and joy and laughter and fun and inside jokes? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, is how Charles Dickens started one of his famous novels. Do your beliefs that the world is going to hell in a handcart influence the world you experience to bring you the world is going to hand in a hell cart? Or if you do believe that we're bringing heaven to earth, is that what you experience in your day-to-day life? Some people say the thoughts that you cherish in your head or in your heart are the ones that are going to manifest for you. Are you taking on other people's energies? In other words, other people around you believe that the world is going to hell in a handcart, and is that what's going to happen for you because the people around you keep saying it? Or, if you go to some other place with different people that believe then that they're working on bringing heaven to earth, a utopia, is that what's more likely to happen for you? What if you have no thoughts whatsoever? No thoughts. You have a completely no thought mind. Then what's going to manifest for you? Because all these people say it depends upon what your regular thoughts are in your head as to what's going to manifest for you. But I don't have any thoughts in my head. What manifests for me? Best descriptor is I don't have an apocalypse happening, and I don't have heaven on earth. I have other spirits that talk to me, and they seem to have, um, I can't say if they have thoughts or not. They say they don't, but they have sort of their general way of speaking. I can't really tell, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I think that all of these teachings are bullshit. I think they're total bullshit. I just had a thought about a red car, and then 10 minutes later I saw a red car. Did my thought about the red car bring the red car? Or did I have a thought in my head because my spidey senses knew there was a red car that was going to approach in 10 minutes? What caused what? The other day I was watching a video by Paul Butler on YouTube, and he talks about ascension into higher dimensions. And he had a picture of a gray-haired native North American person. And he said, why don't you do a quick meditation focusing on this person? So I did focus on the person briefly, not very long. I don't know, maybe a minute. I'm lucky if it was a minute, but enough just to get it into my brain. And then within a day or so, I saw a Aboriginal man with long gray hair, and well, it turns out that he was a grand chief. So it wasn't just any old gray-haired Aboriginal man. It was like a real, a respected elder. So what does it mean? Well, I took it to mean that there was a connection between Paul Butler's video and because I'd never seen this man before, never, 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 not even on TV. But my Aboriginal friend said that's the Grand Chief. And it's like, well, So was there a connection there? I'd say there's definitely a connection, but I didn't do it. I didn't make Paul Butler's video. He really recommended, looking at the picture that was attached to his video. So yes, I did that. But I think anybody, maybe not everybody, but if you're interested in Paul Butler and ascending to higher realms, and I just the video was over and there was the picture, so it was very easy just to look at it. And then I had this happen, that I intend to see this person. Um, the easy answer is yes, I intended to see this happen. The difficult answer is, um, why did I watch that particular Paul Butler video? Um, it was a suggestion by one of the spirits that I hear in my head. I do hear these spirits. They have voices, individual voices, and they make suggestions, and I can't not listen to them. But the thing is that I don't decide on whether I'm going to do it or not, because I let go of controlling the body. So this body may follow the suggestion of the spirit voices or not. And in this case, it listened to Paul Butler and it looked at the picture. Why do I separate me from the body? Because I do. I'm working very hard at separating me from this body, because I've read a lot of metaphysical, spiritual literature that says, be the observer of your body. So that's what I started doing a long time ago. So I don't tell the body what to do. Sometimes I'll talk and I'll say, do you want to go to the bathroom? And the body might wait for an hour before it goes to the bathroom. But, when I was young, I was like everybody else and I had to pee. I'd make the body get up off the couch and go pee. So, what brought this body mind to read the Paul Butler video was a spirit voice suggestion that we look at it, and the body didn't have to do it, but it did. We listened, we looked at the picture, and later on, we saw the Grand Chief. It was supposed to be some kind of an activation of ascended master energies. So did I get an activation of ascended master energies? I don't know. I didn't feel any extra energy when the Grand Chief walked by. So the answer to all of my questions is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But, did that spirit's intention that I hear, its request that I watch Paul Butler and then look at the picture and then later on see the Grand Chief, was that all the whole thing, just one energy expressing itself to me? I'm not doing anything. I let go of the reins of control of this body, and there's no thoughts up here, but sometimes information comes in. What's the difference between thinking and information coming in? I always think that if you're thinking about something, it's because you want to do a think about something. You're stewing over something. If I ever feel like I'm stewing over something, I said, this isn't my energy, because my energy is very high frequency. It's peace. 600 on the scale of human consciousness. It's no thought, no thinking. So if the feeling of thinking and thoughts come into my head, I say, it ain't mine. It's coming from lower vibrations. I don't want it. Send it away. Go away, energy. You're not mine. But the experiences that the body mind has, they still happen. So is it other people's energy? Well, why do I even say it's other people's? It's just these energies that are expressing through human beings. Can a human start an energy? I don't think so. I think it's like what the Buddhist says. It's not, one cause and one effect. It's so many causes and so many effects. What's the takeaway from this little video? Let go of your body. Keep letting go of the need to control what your body's going to do. Let go of control of what your body's going to say. Let control of what you want the body to, where you want it to go, or who you want to see, or making appointments with other people. Let go of all that. See if your body will go on autopilot. It will. It did for me anyways. If it doesn't for you, then what it's doing, if you're not telling it what to do, and it's doing something, then it's doing it on its own. Or if you're not telling it to do anything and it stays in bed all day, well, it stayed in bed all day. It did something. You didn't do anything. That's what I always want you to do, is try this out. Because the spiritual teaching, it did have an effect for me. What changed? Well, I went from this body-mind that I thought was mine to it becoming sort of an independent thing that I watch. Am I better off? Well, my consciousness vibration went way up to peace. And if energies that come in to the body that don't feel like peace, uh, they don't belong to this body and they don't belong to me. So there's something else. Are you, on the other hand, telling the body what to do and what to think? Then you have got a control drama going on with your body and probably other people in your life. It's very low vibration. If you want to hold on to your low vibration, then you are doing something. Because by default, as a human in this world, you are a doer. By default, because you're brought up to be a doer. You're brought up by your parents and they all do it. How do we know? Because the scale of human consciousness says that. The history of the scale of human consciousness, it says that there's a hell of a lot of humans that are in negativity, running negative programs. And they got that way because they were born into it. So you have to let go of the reins. And once you let go of the reins and you're just a silent witness, then you let go of all that stuff. It's not the other way around. You weren't born into an enlightened planet. You weren't born into heaven. If you were, maybe you wouldn't be a doer from the start. No, you're born into an ego-driven planet, and the ego is your mind telling your body and all the other people around you what to do. That's the only way. And how do we know this? You can know this through muscle testing. Muscle testing, muscle testing, and that is the work of Dr. David R. Hawkins. The first book he wrote was Power versus Force, and the one I like to recommend is Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. There's lots of information for free on the internet. You don't need to buy Dr. Hawkins' books, but if you go to Amazon and select the Kindle versions of those books, you can get a free sample to get involved in that information. Why am I talking about it? Because I want a lot less ego on this planet. If we got rid of a lot of ego, then we wouldn't have such horrible problems on the planet. And that's basically what the Dalai Lama was saying in this little talk. He was saying, humans, you created this problem. He didn't go on to say the problem is your ego, but it is. So if you really want to solve the problem of terrorism, we have got to get rid of all of the ego on the planet. How do we do this? Well, we have to educate one another on how to do this. And it's basically letting go of ego, letting go of the reins of control. Simple. Please subscribe and click on the little bell if you want to have updates of when I make new videos on all of these topics. I'm Harry Weaver, our narrator.